welcome to the Work Hard People's podcast. Hope everybody out there's having a great day. I am the old guy. You know me as James. This is Mr. Tom Ellefson. I hope I said your name right. Yeah. He's coming to us today. I'm very excited, but before we fully introduce Tom today, I need to cover a few things. We just want to thank everybody for the recent uptick in views, likes, subscribes. We really appreciate the comments and the engagement. Um, our last episode of the year will be in a couple weeks. Just we're going to drop that just before Christmas. We're going to be doing a Q&A. So, we do a lot of fitness, nutrition, a lot of personal development coaching here. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, send them to our email. We're happy to answer them. We're also going to be giving away a couple of things from our coaching business. So that'll be fun. And but yeah, go ahead and hit us up with that. We're going to get to Mr. Ellison here, and I'm telling you, I'm very excited because uh, Tom is he's a are you a PGA professional teacher?
Former, former.
Former PGA professional golf coach. He is also an agency owner with Symmetry Financial Group, where he is very enthusiastic. I don't have a whole lot of association with Tom, but I know some people that have, and they say he's probably one of the funniest people they've ever met. He has some great hats that he likes to wear.
I do.
Made the cover of a golf magazine. Yeah.
hmm
That's awesome. That's awesome. What was that for, Tom?
That was, all truth be told, I was the player to be named later. It was, which is fine. It was not about generating any momentum in teaching or anything like that. But sorry, anyway. It was the I was working at Talking Stick in Scottsdale, and our lead instructor had a friend who was the photographer for Golf Magazine, and they did a shoot out in San Diego, and it turned out horrible. So they enlisted me in that, and I helped. It was kind of cool from the standpoint I was helping mold how the 15 pages of the article went in the middle of the magazine, helping getting the right shot for the right thing that they were focusing on with these quotes from famous people. Like I've got
Yeah.
a picture of me with a quote of Jack Nicklaus over it, which is kind of cool.
Nice. Yeah, because they had those instruction sections in the middle of Golf Magazine. I remember I used to be a
Yeah.
loyal subscriber. I myself well, I used to be. My foot has limited that, but avid golfer. Played some tournaments, amateur stuff only. Grew up in San Diego, actually. Where was the shoot at in San Diego?
I have no idea. It was probably at La Jolla, and it's probably too cloudy. So
Was it on the
that's
course?
yeah.
Was it Torrey Pines?
I don't know
Yeah.
wherever that could have been too. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see the other pictures. Ours were all taken in Scottsdale. So
Okay.
there's
Okay.
nothing like a photographer laying down on the ground 5 feet in front of you, getting a picture of you hitting. The cover shot was from was from the front of a tee box, and he was laying down at the bottom shooting up. It was kind of strange because if I missed it, he was dead.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
He was
Yeah.
dead. He was going to take one in the noggin and not
Yeah.
recover.
Yeah. One of the things that I really love about golf, and it's one of the reasons that I really wanted to have you on here, because I know what it takes to just be proficient at the game.
Mhm.
Not even a professional teacher, or even an amateur tournament player. The amount of time and practice that goes into that really leads into what we focus on a lot here on the podcast, which is personal development and mental growth. Because if you're not growing those things, nothing you do will be successful. You need to be growing yourself uh, from a personal standpoint to be better and doing the things that you need to be doing. And one of the things that I always loved about golf was, unlike anything else, it is instant feedback. Like sometimes you don't even got to see the ball. You know by the feel of impact if it was Correct. And people that don't play, just so you know, you take a avid, very good, a good golfer, their swing speed's anywhere from 90 to 120 miles an hour, and you're trying to square a club face into a little ball. And if you are just a tenth of a degree off, that shot is not going to go where you want it to go. And you get instant feedback, right?
from the bed. Yeah, it is instant feedback, and it's almost to the point where oh geez, keep rolling.
We're good.
This is one of the benefits of working at home here,
That's
right here.
right. That's right.
Um, so no, it is instant feedback, and it's also a very interesting game from the self-development standpoint. From this standpoint, I don't know about you, James, but I always when I hit a shot in the rough, which I pride myself in not doing that very often, but I would always the mental game I played was I will not have a shot. I will not have a shot. This is, I'm going to have to take a penalty. That's the pressure I put on myself. Even if it was in the slightest rough, ugh, I'm going to have to take a penalty. This is awful. And then I get there and I find out I got a shot. My mind switches to a positive mind. It doesn't work for everybody, and I don't even know if that was the right way when I was growing up. But man, I'd hit it offline, and I'd be like, oh boy, here we go, and then get there and have that positive mindset when I actually did have a shot, and I think it helped recover a lot better than if I thought, oh, I'll be able to hit it, get up there, and have that negative. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do here? So
Yeah, it's a very interesting game, and it's a game that is definitely played between the ears. I mean,
mhm.
the like course management, just really focusing on one shot, not thinking about, okay, I got to do this and this so that I can get this number. It's focusing on the shot at hand, which I think sometimes we lose focus on in the real world, right?
Sure.
Because we're so busy, we got these goals that we want to achieve and we're focused on the goals, but it takes all those little shots to get to the goals. And if we're not focused on those shots, we're going to screw them up.
Yeah. Well, think about this, right? Think about this. If you thought about in golf, if you thought about the end score from the beginning, you might be miserable every single time you play. And the beautiful thing of golf is, the scorecard's really tiny. If you don't have readers, if you need readers, you're not going to be able to put that number into that box. So, but because it's small enough, there is not any room for description there. And even in business, your numbers don't leave a whole big room for description. It's it fits in a little Excel box. That's how I correlate it. And it is all about stacking little wins. If you've got a 400-yard par four dogleg right, you're figuring out what's the most optimal place to go.
Yeah.
And you hit it, you get up there and you figure out what's the most optimal place to go from here.
Yeah, it's that was the strength of my game. I was terrible putter. Horrible. If I wasn't inside 10 feet, I didn't stand a chance of sinking that thing. I mean, I was a terrible putter. I was very good lag putter, very good at two putting. So in order for me to score well, I had to become very efficient from tee to green. I had to be very efficient at my approach shots to make sure that they were close. And so I worked on putting a lot. Uh, Matter of fact, just a little background on me. I was working a job when I was playing amateur tournaments and stuff. I was working a job 60 hours a week, and then I worked at a local driving range on Sundays. I did an 8-hour shift, and I didn't get paid for it. It was for the free balls all week. I made a deal with the owner of the range. So
Mhm.
every day after work, it was 3, 4 hours on the range, till they had the lights up at the range. I'm still pounding balls or on the putting green, just trying to get more efficient. And especially because I was very fortunate that it's very long. So I didn't have to use the big stick a lot, the driver. If the hole was under 400, if it had to be, for me, it was like 440. If it was over 440, I would use my driver for sure. If it was under, I had options, because I'd take my 4 iron off a tee and hit it 250. And, I was very long. So, when you have that option, when you can take an iron off the tee and then have a pitching wedge from 145 yards out, your odds of scoring are a little bit better, right?
Mhm.
So, and I try to translate that into like my life and even what I'm doing with symmetry, right? I try to focus on, okay, what am I good at? Am I going to be a good producer? Maybe. Jury's still out. Right now, I think I pretty much suck at it. I get some here or there, but I'm a good coach. I'm good at helping people. And so that's the direction that I've decided to go, is to really try and build something. And I've only been here since June. But I'm trying to build something. And Chaz, he told me immediately, he said, "Hey, everybody that's ever come in here and been successful, they look back and go, I wish I started building a team right from the get and
Sure.
not waiting." So I focused on that, and I've brought in a couple of agents, and now I'm trying to do more with that, but I'm trying to focus on the areas that I'm good at, because I think that is what is going to lead me to accomplish my goals.
And I would relate producing um, to golf as well, from the standpoint, you don't have to be you don't have to be great to be really, really good. You just have to be consistent. And if you're consistent, if you're just consistent and your work, putting in the work, I mean, you can't go out and play golf without putting in the work with the practice, because it's a I consider it a finite sport where you've got to have some super finite skills figured out before you get really good, and you've got to keep those sharp. And it's the same way here. It's just a matter of um, the thought that came to my mind was, you've got to be you got to fall in love more with the process of practice than the results. And
100%. 100%.
that, I mean, that's the beauty of it, is you can, um, with everything being, on Zoom or over the phone, you can call your mentor real quick and work on something from a practice standpoint, where you don't have to worry about, you know oh my gosh, I need to go in the office and do that. No, you just call them up and do it. But I think when people really start to take off and lift is when they fall in love with the practice part of it, and fall in love with that activity, as opposed to worrying about results, and worrying about if they're good enough, and worrying about if they suck at it or whatever. But because there's going to be difficulties, it's just how do you figure it out, right? um you go on the in golf, you if you're working on something, if you're struggling with something, I'll relate it this way. This is a funny story. It's such a funny story. It taught me so much. But it when I was in college, we had the college golf team and all that, and one of the guys came in, shot 74, and he's like, coach asked him, well, how'd it go? Shot 74. Okay. Well, what are you going to go? How was it? Man, I hit every fairway, every green. Okay. And he goes, I had like 40 putts. 40 putts
Yes.
shooting
Yes.
74. You did something right.
See?
And the thing that happened next just blew both of our minds. He goes, yeah. He was a California kid too. So he was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go beat like 4 buckets of balls, and I'll, call it a day. Like, wait,
Yeah.
you just you just admitted hitting every fairway, every green, and had 40 putts, but yet you're going to go work on the ball striking. That made no sense to us. We just sat there. We both closed the door. We shook our heads, and we were like, what in the world just happened? And it's like, you have everything there. you in relation to the business, that's like having, 300 dials, 40 contacts, 20 appointments, and you're going to go work on recruiting. It's like,
Yeah.
what? No, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Go work at that point. Go work on the in home and in your presentation with the family so that you're ready and you can present. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be the next cycle. It just like it blew my mind. So
I
when you
see it. I wanted to piggyback on that real fast. I see it a lot in the fitness world. I work with, I coach a lot of different people. I have some that like get on stage and do bodybuilding tournaments and things like that, and or bodybuilding shows. And I have, there's a guy at my local gym. He's got these huge shoulders, and they're so big, they're actually pulling his shoulders tight, like he's locked in because his back is underdeveloped, right? But every time I see him in there, he's working on his front delts and his chest, and I'm like, bro, come on, man, get your back in shape. It'll make you wide. Everything will get symmetrical. That's the whole goal when you're
yeah,
building a body, especially for the stage. You want symmetry. You
yeah,
want the muscles to be shaped right. You want things to be proportionate. You don't want to have one muscle group overpowering another. And it's like they're making that, it's the same correlation there.
it's just so funny. I had 40 butts, bunch of 3 butts. Okay, I'm gonna go work on my
Yeah.
what
That
whatever.
was
I just remember it because it was just so vivid and so real. And you know here's it's like, why doesn't he want to get better at what he's doing? What he's
yeah.
where he's weak at. It made no sense. But I see that a lot too, where you know you get somebody new in this business, they make 20 dials, talk to 2 people, and book no appointments, and then they want to go work on their presentation. Where no, you need to work on the activity part of it. You just don't have enough activity, so go work on that.
Yeah,
And
that's 100% correct. You do have to enjoy the practice. I love that you related it to that because my journey here at Symmetry, same thing. I mean, at first, I think everybody's probably nervous at first to pick up the phone and dial a little bit. And, as I started making more dials, setting more appointments, then I was doing more business. Each month has been, I've done more business each month, month over month. It gets a little bit better every
yeah.
month. And it's from that practice. And as I started doing that more, I started to enjoy it. Like literally when I dial, I like a little noise in the background. So I just have something on the TV quiet, just playing, and I just dial, 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 and I'm having better conversations. A couple weeks ago, I had my first one call close. I called the guy. We
Oh,
started talking. He just did a policy with someone else like a month ago. And I said, hey, I'm finding, the line. I just said, hey,
right.
I'm finding when I put my client's information in the system, I'm saving them sometimes thousands of dollars over the life of their policy. It'd take us 15 minutes. Let's do it. And we just did it. And he's like, yeah, I saved him. It's like $20 a month and got him an extra $75,000 worth of coverage. And we just closed it right there. So
Amazing how that
it
works.
does get better as you practice.
Yeah, and this is funny. I haven't really related it to golf like this in a while. So, well, think about this, right? When you go through certain levels of golf where you're a beginner, and all you're trying to do is hit the ball forward, right?
Yeah.
That's really all you're trying to do. Trying to get your posture, grip, alignment right and hit the ball forward. That's what it's like when you first start dialing. You're just trying to hit the ball forward.
Yeah.
Then as you put in the practice, I mean, you can't go, oh, this is so good. I could talk on this for a while. If you're taking lessons, you don't just show up to your lesson and that be your only practice. You work on it on the side, and you come back in and you say, okay, here's what I'm struggling with. This is what I'm finding. How can you help me with this? It's the same thing with mentorship. You can't just not do the work and then go ask your mentor, hey, what do I do? Because they're going to tell you just you've got to do the work. But
Yeah.
the thing is with golf, when you start, you're hitting it all over the yard. It's going everywhere. You have no control of where it's going.
Yeah.
When you put in the work and you get that going and you start doing that, then you start narrowing that dispersion rate down. And that's the same thing. It's the same thing on the phones. As you get better, you narrow the time down that you're dialing, that dispersion rate. You're going to book more appointments. You're going to see more people, that kind of thing. And then when you get to the next level of where you start, I've always said this, when you start working on the range on a 3-yard draw, that's when you've got things kind of tweaked, and now you're just looking to really make it consistent and dependable. And if I do this, this happens. If I don't do this, the ball goes out. Now you're eliminating half of the course by creating just one shot shape. So same thing with symmetry and dialing and the appointments is when you get better, you're eliminating half of the course, and half of that course is your objections, right?
Hmm.
I've never really compared it to that, but then that's
That's
really
a
what it's like.
that's a great analogy. I love that. This is just a side note. That's what I had a practice partner that we just hit balls all the time, and we'd actually we played horse. It'd be like, okay, 4 iron, keep it below the net.
Yep.
Uh, a little bit of a fade around this sign, closest to that sign, right?
Yeah.
And we just start working on those things, just doing that, and that is a great correlation. One of the things I love about personal development more than anything is it relates to everything, right? As we develop ourself, it will it creates a sense of discipline within us as we
Mhm.
get better, more developed mentally, as we grow and work on our weaknesses. We talked about this last week with my guests a little bit. One of the things that I try to do every day, sometimes twice a day, is look in the mirror and have a conversation with myself, right? And I tell myself in the evening, I'm like, okay, this is where I fell short. These were my successes. What am I going to do tomorrow to work on the areas that I fell short? And then in the morning, I will try to do the same thing and say, hey, you know what? These are the areas that I talked to myself last night. Hey, I fell short here. What am I going to do today to better those areas? And I've worked on personal development for many, many years. It's one of the things that I'm truly passionate about. And because I do believe that it plays into everything: business, relationships, sports, exercise, nutrition. If you're not developing your mind, you're going to be failing in those areas.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I don't know if you've heard the term from, you probably have. You're an avid golf nut. The secret's in the dirt, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because that tells you a lot about the game is there from the ground up. And I think with symmetry and other things, the secret's in the self-development. The secret's in in the dirt, in the grind of growing yourself and making yourself better. I mean, that's getting 1% better every single day is my mantra for the rest of my life, because it means so much just to grow that little bit each day.
Yeah, it's that looking within. One of the things, people that don't know this, if you watch golf at all, you watch a professional hit a bad shot, one of the very first things they do is look right at the ground. They look at the divot because they want to see, were they toe heavy, were they heel heavy, were they closed or open. The divot will tell them everything about how they impacted that ball. It's like the first thing they do. They'll see the shot going and they'll look right down at the divot. And
Yeah,
I
that's
think some,
true. And or
I think,
or or if they slipped, and
yeah.
once again they're looking at what went wrong over there. But yeah, the ground tells you so much.
And I think we forget to do that in our lives. I think we forget to do that in business. Look at the divot, right? I mean, one of the things Rob Puckett says
Damn
that
it! I just took a divot out of my computer. Damn it!
one of the things Rob Puckett says is get out there and make a mess and we'll clean it up. But if you're not looking at the mess, if you're making the mistakes and you're not looking at them, they're impossible to fix.
Now
We've got
I'm
to
looking
look
at
at
my
it.
mouse pad on my computer, and I'm like, damn it! I just took a divot.
That's
I'm not going
funny.
to get over that for a long time.
That's good. Yeah, we
Gonna
got to
go.
look at
It's
our
Black
divots.
Friday. I'm going to buy a new computer.
That's right. That's
This
right.
one doesn't work anymore. Oh my
That's
goodness.
funny. That
My
is
wife's gonna
funny.
be mad at you.
Well,
It's all right.
that's good. But no, it's just that is so important to work on ourselves and get better in everything we do.
Mhm.
People just take the opportunity to look yourself in the mirror, be honest. I think one of the biggest problems that I find in just people in general, and I struggle with this in the past, I've worked very hard to overcome it, is ego. We do not like to be called out. We do not like to be wrong. Our ego tells us, no, no, I can do it my way. I got this. All right, it's me.
Ego should be a four-letter word.
Should be, man, because
I
it is probably the worst thing, and that creates more failure than anything. I think because, you know, if we can just take a step back and not try to blame someone else or an event, own your, even if it was out of your control, try to figure out how could I have avoided that or how could I make it better?
yeah. It's funny you say that the three-letter word ego, right? There's with this being sports related, I can go off on a little tangent here because
Always,
my
always.
father-in-law played in the majors for 12 years,
Oh,
and
nice.
it's funny. He was telling me, and so did um, Terry Francona told me this. I got to meet him in the golf business, and he told me, Tom, the word that gets umpire or gets people thrown out of baseball games. I'm like, no. And he says it's only one word, and I said, okay, I got to hear this. And he goes, you can have a manager go out there, throw a tirade, swear up and down 5 different flagpoles, different words, not repeating themselves for 30 seconds. But as soon as they use YOU, they're out. It however quick that manager makes it personal with the umpire is how quick he gets thrown out.
Yeah.
And it's when you make it personal that way, when you're blaming somebody for your own failures, when you're blaming somebody for the practice you didn't put in and the results you expect, that's probably the worst three-letter word ever. I'm blaming you. No,
Yeah.
it's here. So yeah, sorry for the tangent, but I thought it
No,
was
that's perfect because we need to do that in everything. We need to be quick. Eh, I always try to, when things go wrong, rather than look outside, I always look within first. I always try to figure out,
that's
okay, where did
hard.
I mess up? It is
That's
hard, and
hard.
it's taken me a long time I mean, over probably
But
15 years, two
it's
decades of
easy.
just
It's
working.
not hard to do. It's hard to listen.
Yeah.
It's not hard to do. It's just hard to listen because when you believe in yourself and you trust yourself and you 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 assess why you didn't do that and then you really find the real answer from within, that can be hard.
Yeah, because we don't want to think of ourselves as any lesser, right? We want to always think that we're doing the best we can. But the sad
Right.
reality is, and we're all guilty of it, we don't. There's days we slough off. There's days we don't do what we're supposed to do. There's days that we push
There is.
things aside. There's days that maybe we say something to our spouse or friend that we shouldn't. And we have to be quickly willing to apologize, right?
Mhm.
I'm telling you right now, if I say something a little, I'm not like I'm fussing at my wife or anything, but if I say something that's just like off or I get a little short, because I'm doing something. I try to be very, babe, I'm sorry. It's all me. Sorry. I did not mean to do that. But if we would do that more with friends and not hold grudges, be willing to forgive, be willing to understand that, hey, we all make mistakes, I
Well,
think we'd be a better,
that's the
happier people,
interesting
right?
part. That's the interesting part. You've got to be able to give yourself grace. You've got to be able
Yes.
to give yourself forgiveness. You can't go into that self assessment realm and wonder, why you're not getting the results you're not getting, or why you didn't do something today, without giving yourself a little bit of grace and say, okay, that's the best I could do today, even though I didn't do that. Let's go be better tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the only way to grow, Tom. It really is. I mean, I see so many people, it's one of the things that drives me crazy more than anything, is it's easier for you. You're lucky. You're gifted. I can't stand it. It drives me crazy. No, it's not easier for me. I've just been working at it longer. I've been putting in the work. It's not any easier. I'm just better
No.
adept at it, right?
Yeah.
Um, Tiger Woods did not become Tiger Woods because Tiger Woods was just gifted. Yes, he was gifted. He had physical abilities, but that kid's been swinging a golf club since he was 2 years old. I can't even imagine the amount of balls that guy has hit in his
Well,
life.
well, let's he is gifted in a certain realm. The the certain realm that he's gifted in is very similar to Michael Jordan. They're they may not be the most talented, they may not be the most gifted, but they certainly have their mindset right, saying no one's going to outwork me, no one's going to be better than me. I will outwork you because I I have this and this goal that I'm going to achieve, and you are not going to stop me. And their perseverance, their grit, their determination, bar none, there's nobody compared to them. Um, in their sport, in their realm. Kobe was probably the same way too.
Yeah,
But it's a when you have a when you have that mindset, that focused mindset of I will do this, I'm going to do this, this is what I'm doing. Um, yeah, it'll take you next level.
I
That was their gift. They worked on their mindset so much.
and isn't it that way? I think when you look at any elite professional in any realm, I don't care if it's business, sports, whatever it is, they are the hardest workers. They're the ones that are
Well,
grinding the hours
think about
over and
this.
over again.
When was the last time you were at an NBA game? Or a high level college game, whatever. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. If you get there early and watch the warm ups, you wonder how these guys ever miss a shot, because in the warm ups they're making shots left and right, and it's like
Hmm.
it's crazy. It's like if you took a I would love to find out what they shot in practice in warm ups, because it's high 80s, high 90s.
Yeah.
Um, because they're the best of the best. They've from the big pool of millions of people, it's down to 12 on the court, right? 12 on each team or whatever it is. They're the best of the best. They know how to do this. They're not gifted. They put in the practice, and then it's like, how did they ever miss a shot? And it's because there's other factors to that, but
Yeah.
it's just interesting when no matter how good you are at something, you still have to put the work in. I guess that's really what I was saying.
No, you do 100% in anything. If you when you start slacking there, that's when things start to fall off, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's I think the most important thing that we do in life is manage our misses. Because we
God,
we
I haven't
miss a
heard that
lot.
in forever.
We
Wow.
do. We have to manage our misses, whether it
Mhm.
be business, whether it be a sport, life. We have to manage those things. I say often, you hear failure's not an option, and I say failure is the option. Failure is an option, and it's the option that we will learn the most from.
Oh yeah,
If we
I go
fail
with
and
it. You're
learn,
either winning or you're learning.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, I
I
say there's no status quo, right? You're either growing or shrinking. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
You know, and just so you know, people, it's okay to take two steps forward and one step back. That's still growing. It's going to happen. Manage the misses, manage the failures in your life,
Yeah.
and they will catapult you to success.
Yeah. You ain't lying.
So, what's the future hold for Tom? Are you on a so you're at AO right now?
Mhm.
How long you been with Symmetry?
3 years.
3 years. How long you been at AO?
Probably a year and a half, 20 months, probably.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
are you making a run right now for the next step?
We're always running. You know, it was funny. It was funny. And this was interesting because I was asked yesterday, I was asked yesterday to, what's next for 2024? And I probably better get better at this question, but or answer. But I've got I say this, I've got my personal goals. I've got things that I want to do. There's there's progressions I want to see by the end of the year. And definitely laying that out and laying out a course for that. Um, but this year, it's more about how can I help the others on my team succeed and move forward. Um, because the goals. I mean, I'm looking at my promotion guidelines up here, looking at them. You know, 125 run by the end of the year should be definitely in play, if not before. Um, it's it doesn't matter what I want. All these goals going forward are team related. So I want to get with my key members of my team and figure out, what their goals are and how to help them get theirs because I it's hard to move up right now without others. And if you don't get that after when you start going for AO, if you don't get that, you're going to move faster as a group than you are by yourself. And it's it's interesting because I really truly my heart really truly lies on what what my team wants and how I can help do that. And I know that sounds like I didn't commit to setting any goals, but I did. It's just a matter of what I really care about is what theirs are.
No, and those building your team is going to build you, right? I mean,
Mhm.
uh, you're not going to be able to build your team if you're not working on yourself.
Nope.
If you're not growing, you're not going to be able to help them grow. So I think those are very good goals. I am a coach by design. Like it doesn't everything I've ever done,
Mhm.
I've always been moved into a training or coaching role.
Mhm.
Whether it be in business, I was the vice president of investments for JP Morgan Chase. I was quickly moving out of managing money and into coaching advisors
Right.
uh, because I love doing it. It was easier for me to go to somebody else's meeting and close their business than close my own. I did it all the time, right? I I like coaching people up. It's the reason that I got into fitness in general and working with training people and nutrition and personal development coaching with my athletes
Yeah.
and my different clients. It's because I like coaching people. I love doing it. It's a passion for me. It's the reason I came to Symmetry. I had I was doing something else. I got injured really bad, and I'm in a position where I have to work from home. Like, it's hard for me to even just sit in a chair for more than 3 hours without having to get my foot up, right? I mean, it's an absolute mess. I'll text you some pictures. I had a
No, don't.
I had a complete
Oh, I'll
break.
pass out. Don't do it.
Yeah, the fourth or the second, third, fourth, and fifth metatarsal completely broke and shived up into my ankle. Total mess. So, but um,
I'll go back here and throw up now. You're good.
there you go. But I was looking for options, things to work at home, and there were other options available. But one of the things that I loved more than anything was that Chaz said, he said, Symmetry is a personal development company that uses insurance to make an income.
Hmm.
But we're designed around building people up. and strengthening and growing people. And I was like, I'm in. It's all I need to know. I did some research on the owners, of course, and just I wanted to see the kind of people I was getting involved with. And then being on the huddles with Rob and Ed and the
Yeah.
team, I was seeing the kind of people I was involved with. And I'm like, this is a group that I can, latch my wagon to and ride that train. And I've
I'll
met great people. You, Mark, Mark's a
awesome.
character. So
Awesome. I'm in that realm. I'm honored. Thank you.
yeah, you're great. Yeah, I really enjoyed when you came on our huddle. I enjoy your enthusiasm. Um, uh, I enjoy some of the stories I've heard. I can't wait to meet you in person, right? At conference, yeah. So
Yeah, we will. Here, I'm gonna tee something up for you that you can promote or whatever. But this is
sure.
something I was trying to find this and I found it because I want to relate this to the goal conversation we just had. Relationships are the foundation upon on what winning teams are built upon, and all great relationships are built on value, respect, love, trust, and care.
Yes.
And for any of you that are coaches and sports geeks and all that, this is just a fantastic book to jump into
You went in the locker room first.
by John Gordon and Mike Smith, the former coach of the Falcons.
Nice.
It's it's a fantastic book that you can relate to business, to life, and it really, really relates to symmetry in so many different ways. And especially if you do have a coaching background and a coaching vernacular, so to speak, it it will generate things in your mind that you're like, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Um,
No, that's great. I will
and
list it too in the description.
it's one of my favorites, and it's literally within arm's reach because I wear that thing out. I open it almost every day.
That's good. I know
Um,
I know good coaches have a tendency to say the right thing at the right time. Um,
yeah.
one of my favorite quotes from a coach ever was from Lou Holtz when he was coaching Notre Dame
Mhm.
the year just before the national championship game. And he said to them, he said, "Men, if you settle for second when first is attainable, you'll never be able to live with yourself."
Yeah,
And
no
I
doubt.
think we do that way too often. We settle for second when first is right there. All we have to do is put in a little bit more effort and it's attainable.
It is too. It's 1,000% attainable. So
Very good. Very
takes
good.
work though.
Well, hey, Tom, I've had you monopolize your time here for about 45 minutes. I don't want to keep you all day. You got a big football game. You going to see the Colts tomorrow?
Going tomorrow, yeah. Yeah.
Are you in Indy?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. It's been a minute since I've been through Indianapolis, but I like it
Yeah.
up there. It's not
We're
bad.
we'll be right under the open window.
Oh, there you go. Very
They
nice.
probably won't open the window, but
Yeah, it is getting a little chilly up there, isn't it?
yeah. I won't even talk about the owner, but that's a
You a
whole
Colts
nother
fan?
that's a whole nother topic.
Are you a Colts
Um,
fan?
yeah,
Yeah.
been here for 17 years. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I like players in the NFL more than I actually root for a team. I'm kind of a college guy. Roll Tide. I'm a Bama fan all the way. I'm down here in Alabama, just north of Montgomery, but
No, I
yeah,
got you.
I've been a Bama fan since I was probably about 5 or 6, and I don't even know. I think you know who it was. Who was it? I just always liked him. I liked Joe Namath. I liked him and just his cockiness back in the day, and it just kind of led me to follow them. But and then obviously moved. I grew up in San Diego. The Air Force brought me to Alabama, and just fell in love with the place, and here we are. But yeah, it's I love to watch in the NFL. I like to watch good players do great things, man. They are. It is fun to watch them because they are. It's the pinnacle, right, of that
Yeah.
sport. So any plans for today, or you just?
A big football day today, buddy.
Oh
I mean,
yeah, we got
it's
the Iron Bowl this afternoon. So
is that Alabama Auburn?
yeah, yeah.
Didn't didn't Auburn just lose to New Mexico State?
I think so. It shouldn't be a game
That's my
this
alma
weekend.
mater. That's the only reason I can bring that up and
New
smile about it.
Mexico, are they the Lobos?
No, that's New Mexico. New Mexico State's the Aggies.
Oh, the Aggies. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad actually was a Ute. He went to the University of Utah.
Oh wow.
So
Nice.
yeah, yeah. But anyway, I want to thank you very much for your time.
No problem.
I know it's precious, and I know that you have a lot of very good things to bring people. You are rolling at what you're doing right now. You have been building. I know you're passionate about helping your team and helping
Mhm.
others. I recognize that when you came on our call, you're trying to help us out. We're not your team, but you still spent that time with us to try to motivate us, and which I'm glad you did, because that's how I got to meet you. So it was
Well,
worth it.
awesome.
But with
It's a
that,
small world.
it is a small world. But with that, I want you all to get out there and work hard, peoples, and remember, don't forget to smile. Thanks so much for watching or listening. Remember, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can find us on Facebook at Work Hard Peoples LLC or Instagram at Work Hard Peoples LLC. You can also find us on our website at workhardpeoples.com. Have a great day or night. Don't forget to smile.